Who is Hawkeye and why is he so goddamn strong? And is he just the tip of the iceberg for the Grand Line? I'm not too sure, but in this episode, we got a bit more context on the Grand Line in general and the threats that can come from it. This dude Hawkeye sunk a 50-ship fleet without any stress, it seems like. Don Krieg's fleet, specifically. That's why he's come back from the Grand Line in such a state. It's because this one guy, Hawkeye, absolutely destroyed all of his crew, basically. And not only that, Zoro actually knows him, and that is the man that Zoro's been chasing. You know, I think it was mentioned in a previous episode about a character with hawk eyes, and that's literally who this guy is. And it makes sense because he seems to be the strongest swordsman, at least we've seen so far, maybe in the world. And if he's like this sort of threat in the Grand Line, and this is like the first thing we've actually seen from it, the first big threat we've seen from the Grand Line, I can't imagine what else is there. It's probably going to be absolute chaos. There's a reason they call it a pirate graveyard, apparently, if this sort of thing is there. Not only that, Hawkeye has chased him to the East Blue. Like at the end of the episode, Zoro shows up and destroys Don Krieg's main ship as if he hasn't already tortured the poor guy enough. Like he destroyed his 50 fleet crew, his 50 boat fleet in the Grand Line. He follows him out and then destroys his main boat too. That's disrespectful. But I think this is interesting because it shows the gap between Zoro and who, like, the world's strongest swordsman right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, Zoro has such a far way to go. Zoro couldn't even come close to doing that. Do you know what I mean? So Zoro has a lot further to go if he has any hope of catching somebody like Hawkeye. But getting someone like this in the series is interesting for Zoro as a character because I think it's really going to give him some sort of perspective. And Zoro and Hawkeye are actually in the vicinity of each other now, so I'm hoping we get a confrontation because I think that will be extremely interesting. Besides that, we got a bit more insight into who Zeph really is, and that he used to be a pirate called Redfoot Zeph, and that's because he only used his legs to fight, and he's called Redfoot because his feet used to be covered in the blood of his enemies, which is quite morbid. But it makes it a bit more sad, the fact that he's got a peg leg now. Like, what the hell happened to him? Was that during battle? Like, how did he lose his leg? Are we going to see it? I hope we do. Maybe it was something like what happened with Shanks, where he got like his arm bitten off. Maybe he got his leg bitten off by like a giant creature. Who knows? And Zeph also gave a bit more context on Sanji, the fact that he knows what starving's like, and that's why, you know, him and Sanji fed all those people. So I assume they had like a horrible sort of past together in that regard. Maybe they starved at some point together. They were in that sort of situation. So I'm sure we'll get more context on that soon, but it makes sense as to why Sanji's so adamant on feeding starving people. Something tells me we're going to get like a backstory on it, and it's going to be tragic, and it's probably going to make me cry. It wouldn't be the first time. Also, Nami seems extremely interested in this bounty for a guy called Arlong. I have no idea what the context is, but every time it pops up, she seems to be staring at it, and now she's disappeared with the Going Merry. Like, she's literally stolen Luffy's boat. I don't know where she's going. Maybe it's something to do with that bounty. I'm pretty sure it is, because we saw it a couple episodes ago as well. When the first time she saw that bounty, she looked terrified and really fucking angry. So I'm sure Arlong has some sort of past with her. Maybe that's the pirate that killed her family member that she was talking about with Buggy. It could be, but clearly there's a history there. So I'm interested to see more about that. But I don't think it's a good idea for Nami to go alone, to be honest, whatever it is. But yeah, a whole bunch of shit is going down at the moment. I'm loving it.